Hello, this is Myra Elaine on the Buying Space channel. This is my Torah reading. This is the Hebrew on the right in the Torah and the English translated directly from the Hebrew. And last week I read from Numbers. I have been reading from Exodus. I will return to Exodus in my next reading. But I wanted to talk about Balor. Excuse me, not Balor, Balaam. And Balaam was a prophet who was known. He had a reputation among the descendants of Lot that were to the east of the Holy Land in the lament. The king of the Moabites had found out that the Israelites were coming, and they had conquered many of his neighboring kingdoms. And he knew that he was going to be conquered. So he sent for a prophet. Who was known to be able to curse and bless. And when he cursed something, it was really cursed. And when he blessed something, it was really blessed. His name was Balaam. And God didn't want him to go. The king had sent servants with money to ask him to go. And God told him, don't go. And then he sent a prince with more money, more people. And they stayed the night with him. And God spoke him to the second night. Okay, go, but don't say what the king wants you to say. Say the words I put in your mouth. So the next morning they set off, and I read those scriptures. And God put an angel with a sword in front of him. And he didn't even know it. But his ass knew. His donkey knew. It says ass in the scriptures. And finally God showed him the angel. And he was sorry that it beat his ass. So the angel told him, God does not want you to curse Israel. And he said, okay, I'll go home. And then the angel said to him, go ahead, go to the Moabites, but only say what God tells you to say. So the king of the Moabites meets him when he arrives, and they go up a mountain, and they sacrifice 7 bulls. They build 7 altars up in the mountain and sacrifice 7 bulls. And Balaam is there, and he's expected to curse Israel. And the Israeli tents, the Jewish people, the Hebrew people, are down in the valley, and he can see them. And these bulls have been sacrificed so he can curse them. But when he opens his mouth, he doesn't curse them. He blesses them. And the king is upset. He said, I brought you here. And he said, yes, you did. But those were the words that God put in my mouth. So he said, well, let's try this again. So he goes up to a higher mountain. And yet again, they build 7 altars. And they sacrifice 7 bulls. And here is Balaam. And he blesses the Israelites again, because those are the words God is giving him. So the king is even more upset this time. So they go up to a higher mountain, and they lay out 7 altars. They build on this mountain, and they start the fire, and they sacrifice 7 bulls again. And here's what happens. And then Balaam saw it was pleasing to the eyes of the Lord to bless Israel. He went not. And the other times to seek for enchantments, but he set his face towards the wilderness. And Balaam lifted up his eyes, and when he saw Israel encamped according to their tribes, there came upon him the Spirit of God. He took up his parable, and he said, Thus saith Balaam, the son of Beor, and thus saith the man whose eyes are open. Thus saith he who heareth the sayings of God, who seeth the vision of the Almighty falling down, yet with unveiled eyes. How beautiful are thy tents, O Jacob, thy dwellings, O Israel. As streams are they spread forth, as gardens by the river's side, as aloe trees, which the Lord hath planted, as cedar trees beside the waters. Water runneth out of the buckets, that his seed may be moistened by abundance of water, and exalted above Agag shall be his king, and rise on high shall be his kingdom. God, who brought him forth out of Egypt, is to him like the heights of the ring. He will devour nations. His oppressors and their bones will he break, and pieces of them through with his arrows. He coucheth, he lieth down as a lion and as a lioness, who shall make him rise up. They that bless thee be blessed, and they that curse thee be cursed. And the anger of Balak was kindled against Balaam, and he struck his hands together. And Balak said to Balaam, To curse my enemies did I call thee, and behold, thou hast even blessed them these 3 times. And now thou to a place I thought to honor these greatly, but in the Lord hath kept thee back from honor. And Balaam said to Balak, Did I not already speak thy messengers whom thou sentest unto me, saying, If Balak would give me his house full of silver and gold, I cannot go beyond the order of the Lord, to do good or evil out of thine own heart. What the Lord will speak, that I must speak. And now, behold, I am going unto my people, and come, I will advise thee against what this people will do to thy people in the end of days. And he took up his parable and said, Thus saith Balaam the son of Beor, and saith the man whom eyes are open. Thus saith who heareth the sayings of God, and knoweth the knowledge of the Most High, who seeth the vision of the Almighty, falling down with unveiled eyes. I see him, but not now. Behold him, but not nigh. There steppeth forth a star out of Jacob, and there riseth a scepter out of Israel. And he pierced the chiefs of Moab, and destroyed all the children of Seth. And Edom shall be a conquest, and Seir shall be conquest for his enemies, while Israel doeth valiantly. And there shall rule the one from Jacob, and he shall destroy whatever escapeth out of the city. And he looked on Amalek, and turned upon his parable, and raid. The first of nations is Amalek, but his father end shall be destruction forever. And he looked upon the Kenites, and took up his parable, and said, Strong is thy dwelling place, and place upon the rock is thy nest. Nevertheless, the Kenites shall be wasted. Whither will Ashur carry thee away captive? And he looked upon his parable, and said, Alas, who shall live when God doeth against the appointed one? But the ships will come to the coast of Kittim, and will afflict Assur, and will afflict Eber, and will also be given to destruction forever. And Balaam rose up and went, and returned his place, and Balak also went his way. So 3 times Balak, the king of the Moabites, tried to get Balaam to curse the Jewish people, and he could not. And the 3 wise men who were in the east studied these scriptures and studied this prophecy. And I want to read, or should I say reread, chapter 24 of Numbers, verse 17. I see him, but not now. I behold him, but not now. There stepped forth a star out of Jacob, and there ariseth a scepter out of Israel, and he pierceth the chiefs of Moab, and destroyeth the children of South. Here it is. Scriptures studied by the 3 wise men. They were looking for a king. They were looking for a star. And when they saw that star, they knew that Jesus was king. They didn't know his name yet, but they knew a king was coming out of Israel, and set forth on a journey to find that king, to give him kingly gifts. But they were not there when Jesus was born. They traveled 800 and 900 miles to find the king. And it took them months, if not years, to find Jesus. And they dedicated their lives looking for the king, looking for the Messiah, looking for the Savior. What a wonderful example were those kings. When you celebrate Christmas this year, are you looking for those rewards that the kings and queens in your household or in another household in another city have promised you? The presents? Or are you looking for Jesus Christ and Christmas. Merry Christmas, everyone. Have a wonderful and blessed day, and have a wonderful, joyous holiday while we celebrate the coming of the King.